All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me, coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High, higher has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I just thank the Most High, Yah, for allowing me to rest therein. There is a resting place. I asked the Father one time, and I think it was like 5 years ago. I said, "Give me a song in my spirit, Father, that I may sing unto you." And that was, He put in my spirit a place of rest. And I wrote a little song, a place of rest. Find me a resting place. I'm telling you, that song, I'm telling you, it felt so good. And it feels good right now just to think about it because I really kind of dedicated my little spirit to it, and I just thank the Father for it because it was a song that He put on my heart. A lot of times people don't know that you do have a resting place. He is the resting place in which you can lay your head upon His bosom and know that you can rest therein. Okay, okay. I don't know what my paperwork and what happened to it, but that's okay. I'm going to press on. Oh, I see it. I see it now. Um, Time to do what? Time for real talk. That means it's your time to talk, my time to talk. We just gonna talk it up and talk it out. So if you have anything to talk about or to speak on or anything of that nature, please go right ahead. You can I'm sorry, I'm just so busy seeing all these pieces that's hanging all over the place here. You go right ahead. Shalom, shalom in the live chat. It's good to see you. See, I'm not. I was prepared, but it just seemed like when that time come up on you, you tend to be all over the place. I was thinking about Jacob and how and what the father did, and I'm going to share with you the things that I'm going to talk about. It's going to have something to do with how we have bypassed many things that has son us or have given us a sign of how the Father, Yah, rumbles. Okay. And being so weeded is so many voices in the land. I don't even think anyone listening to the voices in the land anymore. Uh, there are so many voices in the land, and I see why it need be that there are different voices in the land. It's because if you got a level of deceivers out here, then therefore they are the one that has been appointed, anointed, and signed the position to deceive many. So that made the broad gate broad so that it can fulfill that mission in itself. And very many shall find their way through the broad gate versus the narrow. Okay. And I was just going over something here about Jacob and Rebecca. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful to me because these are the things you don't hear about. And it's okay that you don't hear about it because I sit in the last, I say, 2.5 years trying to instill in people this thing is spirit and it is truth. And the voices in the land is more so flesh and blood. Okay. And they're getting caught up in me, mine, mine, mine. And the things that gives the glory and the praise and the honor to the flesh of men and women versus the spirit of the most high or higher and who he stands for. You don't hear too many people giving really him the praise and the honor and the glory because many have decided to just go in the direction or toward the direction of the broad gate where many therein follow. So we just open to talk. Anyone wants to start off, you can. Shalom in the live chat. It's good to see you. So you can start off, or we're gonna get busy. And I was just, I was just so. I'm gonna wait until we get a few more people in, but I was just trying to grip Jacob and Esau, and I think me personal, I think that the understanding of the Hebrew, I ain't go Hebrew Israelites is so far north as there is right. I mean, south. They so distanced from each other, and they take away the power. I think something I was saying earlier in a video. Why is it we take away the power of Yah in any and everything? You know why? So that he won't get the glory and he won't get the praise. So it can be given unto the flesh of men and women. You see what I'm saying? So we decide to take it where we can get the glory, we can get the praise, we can get the likes, we can get the subscribers, you know, and it makes a lot of sense why they don't speak spirit and truth. Because if they spoke spirit and truth, who'll get the praise? Ahaya, ahaya. You see? Spirit and truth is speaking of the one that created all things from the beginning and the end and how he has orchestrated things. Listen to what Yeshua said on the mountain. He said to the serpent, "It is written that man should not live on bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah." Do you think he had this book when he said that? No, he didn't. He was really speaking of the spiritual, of the how Yah rumbles in the spirit realm, how he commune and speak to us in the spirit. You see, that's what he was saying, you know. And today we look at it as if it's what Sister Deborah is saying, and he, the pastor, the apostle, the Maureen, the seer, the watchman, the prophetess, the prophet, and we give them the praise and the honor and the glory, and we still doing it even to today, to the utmost. And we see no room to even realize anywhere in us, no room to realize, wait a minute, why are we recognizing everybody outside of the creator himself? Why is it we're not focusing on the power of who he is and what he stands for? You know, we're not focusing on anything that represents him. But it ain't like he didn't say we weren't going to. He said it. He said it himself. It was gonna be like that. So it ain't that he didn't know we wasn't gonna focus on him. He knew it. He knew we would be where we at today, and that's about it. You know, and I see that throughout. I mean, in every nationality that claims to know God, claims to know your Jesus Christ, claims to know Yahuwah, Yeshua Hamashiach. I mean, everything, the Messiah. I mean, it's just like they claim to know them without the power, and we can't do that. We can't have that. We can't not serve Him without the power. We cannot honor him without his power. We cannot worship him without his power. Let me give you an example of what happened to me. Strange, for the last 2 days, I woke up something like 4, then hit 5, and then maybe 6:20, and even 7 o'clock. over and over. And every time I turned, I found myself repenting. And I was like, what is all that for? When I woke up, what was all that about? I was repenting and praying for my children. You know what I'm saying? Now, the moment I completed, I went right back to sleep like a baby. But it's just the idea of the awakening. Why is it I just couldn't sleep from the time I lied down to the time it was time to get up? But no, I was up. It was, I was, I felt that I was awakened. And it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing because that shows me that least a higher is interfering with my sleep and causing me to pray. You see what I'm saying? We design prayer a way that the flesh is willing to accept it. You see what I'm saying? I don't do it like that. I don't do it like most people because I'm constantly talking to them. I guess if I were to do it the way everybody else do prayer or pray, I think he would tell me, please shut up. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear no more because it's a non-stop thing with me. I don't even know how to stop it because I can see something and I can be doing something or I can be just driving and I begin to just talk to him throughout the whole drive, just talking. I can be coming into my house and I can be talking to him like I'm talking to him, to a creator of all things. I can go into my room, I can be watching television, and I'm still sitting here talking to him. I'm talking, I'm holding a conversation. Jump in the tub, I'm holding a conversation. Okay? Everything I'm doing, it's always holding a conversation to him. So if I was to come to him to call myself trying to do how would I say it, a prayer like people think that it really is a tradition, he probably tell me, please get somewhere and sit down. Don't you think we didn't talked enough? I'm just showing you all how it's a non-stop with me. So for him to shake me in the midnight hour like that, what I realized? That it was needed. Not as much as for the world. I think it was needed. He knows the need of my flesh in that prayer and the need of my spirit. Because for him to have to take our time like that, hour on hour, waking me up, and I'm going strict, nothing is being said but strictly repenting. Forgive me. And let me tell y'all something. Let me give y'all a little taste of what when I turn, and I don't want to wake up, but it just started coming out. I began to say, "Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the things I've said that did not please you, the things I've done that wasn't pleasing to you, Father, the things I felt that wasn't pleasing, Father, the things that I thought that wasn't pleasing." I'm laying in the bed just saying these things. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Help me to be the best that you know that I can be because I know not. Forgive me. Forgive me, Father. Thank you so much for just being there day and night, night and day. Next thing you know, I'm asleep. Go back to sleep. Another hour, wake up saying the same thing. Then I might wake up. I know one time I woke up, I started praying for my children, but it's not something that I was preparing. That's what I'm trying to get you all to understand. It wasn't that I'm waking up to prepare to pray for myself to repent or my children. This is a routine from the Father that's causing me to do these things. I know that it got to be needed. I know that it's a reason behind it. And you think I'm looking for the reason? No, I don't need to. Just respect his order in the way he does things. I don't need to be justified. I don't need to be clarified. No, he don't need to do none of that with me. All I know is that he's in it. And that's all I need to know. Because there's no way the flesh can wake up in praying like that. So I'm just saying, for me to get down and start saying, "Oh, let me do the tradition prayer. Oh, Father, this, Father, this." No, 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 no. I don't. It's no need for that because it's a constant conversation with Him. Even when I do wrong, it's a conversation. When I know you're gonna get me now. I know it. I know it. That's wrong. That's not the way you do it. That's not the way you do it. Deborah, sit your tail down. I mean, I just say everything and anything to keep this flesh under the subjection to the spirit in which abide in minds. You see, never allowing the spirit, even when I'm wrong, no one would never know because you know what? I'm shooting into it through the both spirits, the spirit of Yah and my spirit is one. I'm shooting into that flesh to let it know you can't do that. That ain't that you stand your tail down. You know, so it. This is what is called getting your flesh under the subjection to the spirit that is within. Mm, 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 mm. Anyone else have something? Give all glory and honor and praise, Father Yah. Yes, yes, yes. For guidance, that's good too. That's good. That's really good. Because we don't even know what tomorrow is going to bring, and which way is it, or which way should we go? So yeah. Well, you know what I did when I would be trying to pray for others? Guess what? It's just something about that is just void because it's like, okay, I told you A to Z. You simply instead of praying for others, I pray for those children of mine because I asked the Father as a mother, let this only be the prayer of a mother. But my Father, you override my prayer. Let thy be will be done. And when I would go into praying for other people, like people in the world and all, he don't allow me to get in that because he allowed me, he knows that already I taught you. Lean to my will. Let my will be done. You see, but as a mother, or even as a wife, or if you have a husband, you can see yourself just upholding them, just as a mother's prayer or as a wife prayer for her husband or a husband prayer for his wife. Okay. He looks for that. But when we begin to try to pray for this sick world that he already know that's lost without a cause, no, 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 no. We got to go back into his will and say, Father, Yah, I pray that thy will shall be done. And that's the same thing I do with my children. Father, bless them, save and sanctify them, fill them with your Ruach HaKodesh. And when I finish saying that, you know what I say? Not my will, but thy will. See, I'm still turning it back over to his will, even though it's my children. You see what I'm saying? So I don't get caught up in, or I pray for this. What are you praying for? Something that's beyond what he has already orchestrated. When we go into his will, like I just told you, everything that I pray for, when I praying for my children, I always say, not my will, but thy will. This is just a mother's prayer because I want him to understand I am in full understanding of his Ruach HaKodesh in the way that it has taught me. It's not going to go according to your will, but it shall go according to mine. And when you recognize that power is in his will, you see, he don't want us to pray like our voice is going to make a difference. I know they teach his people that and make people think that. But what makes a difference when we can trust in his will and not lean to our own understanding, our own emotions, and our own feelings. then you done stepped on his toes. I'm telling you. He's like, wait a minute. You putting me first? Oh, you gonna put me first? My will? Oh, I can do something with that now. You know why? You putting him first. You're seeking him first. You're seeking his will first. You remember Yeshua when he was in Gethsemane? And he said, take away this cup, this bitter cup. And the bitter cup was what he's about to go through. He went all the way, even through the beating. But now having to lose his life and to go through that whole, he said, take away this bitter cup. Then what did he say? Same thing Sister Deborah said when she praying for her children. This is a mother's prayer. But let not my will be done, but thy will. So what did Yeshua say? Oh, but not my will, thy will. See, even he knew that even though I wanted that bitter cup to be removed, but Nathan, hold up. Let it not interfere with our will. So when we're praying for other people, we're praying for his will to be done. Because his will is already orchestrated before the foundation of the world. It knows everybody you praying for. You see? And when you able to come to him like that, you putting him up on high. You put him on the highest pedestal that there is on the face of the earth. And that's when we serve him, period. It's when we put him higher than any and everything on the face of the earth. Then you know what that gives you a sign? That you in there. It shows you, and it's not something you do because Sister Deborah's doing it. I'm talking about in the spirit realm, it teaches you. Put him all the way up there. Always. Put him first. Seek him first. When you do that, you in there. No doubt about it. So there have been times where I try to go in and really do a thorough a prayer of the traditional praying. But since the relationship that he has with me and in me, and I have in him, let me tell you something. I can feel that thing, and he can answer that. You see, because we're one now. We're in this one. As long as I don't forget who rules it, who's the head. You see, in this flesh, because in my spirit, I know he's the beginning and the end of any and all things. You see, but sometimes in the flesh, we tend to forget that. Not that he's not the beginning of the beginning and the end, but that our choices and the way we think and feel and our emotions can override. No. You don't want your emotions and your personal opinion and your feeling to override the will of the Father that rests therein. Ooh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Always putting him first. And a lot of times, if you just keep quiet enough and be listening, you can hear him in you, making choices for you. You can hear him speaking to you. But if you got so much to say, then you ain't gonna hear him. Because there, like Solomon said, there's a time to speak and there's a time to keep quiet. Yes, it is. Even to this day. So let's see if anyone else have to. Yes, he is amazing. Yes, glory. Hallelujah. Yes, he is. How can I know? Is that Ahia or Yeshua? Yeshua or Ahia? Yah, like me. You see, wait a minute, prophetess, how can I know? Do he speak to you? Do he tell you when you're right, when you're wrong? You can't feel him? And I just saw, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all might not believe this. And I think I've been saying this about 17 years. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a cage somewhere. I feel like I'm somewhere in the cage somewhere. And I know it's been a lot of years. He said he had the hedge around me. But I still sometimes feel like I'm in a cage because I want people to know that He has not made nothing hard. We make it hard for ourselves. He is simple as simple can be. And what happened is all the different religions and the different beliefs and the different interpretation of a book has caused us not to know our way to his bosom. But he's still ever present. And he's so simple. He is so simple to where, but we look at so many and hear so many voices in the land. We take from who he is. That's why I was saying early in the video, the power. When he told me that, he said the power is gone. And when he was talking to me about lawlessness, I was like, that's the way I was thinking. But you know what? He also said to me, you can almost match it with the beginning of purging. And I said, oh my goodness, because it's actually happening, y'all. A lot of things are happening and everybody going on their way like they don't even see nothing. So when it get bad, then it's that's what everybody gonna say. Oh, they doing this. They do. No, 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 no. It's been happening, but no one is saying anything. Especially, let me tell you where they're not saying anything on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patriot, Twitter. None of them are speaking about nothing that's actually taking place to the point where you can see the prophecy. They're more so caught up in black and white. White man marrying black woman. They so caught up and addicted to the things that has no spirit and truth in it that is off the chain. Left the light on. Yeah, so we could see that we could see our way. We have to know that he charged Satan to leave the light on. He ain't charging us. He charged Satan to leave the light on. Now, if Satan will leave the light on for us, what is it we're not seeing? The light is for us to see. The pin needle of light of him. You remember he said faith of a mustard seed? Why is he saying? Now, Father Yah, why are you saying that? The size of a mustard seed. Because he's just letting you know. Faith is a gift from me. And all you have to do is kind of feel a little of it of the size of a mustard seed and don't and understand you got it. You see what I'm saying? He said the size of a mustard faith. If you had the faith of the size of the side of a side of a mustard seed, tiny bitty seed. He just letting you know if you had that little bitty tiny, then you have that brand from him. If you can know that you have that little tiny, that's how beautiful the faith of Yah that's branded in us is. That you can recognize it. And I know that I am. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even look at the tiny mustard seed. I can see the brand of his faith in me. When I say see, I'm talking about spiritual. Okay. Yes, he is so wonderful. So you know what? Uh uh um anyone else have I don't want to go to the next topic until you all we bring forth some other topics because how do people treat you? How do people see you? How do you see others? How do you feel about the way others how they are conducting themselves? Because a lot of times that light will reveal people and who they are and the things that they're doing. And the light will also show you those that are in the light. You see? And when there's a lot of darkness, it'll give you the understanding of that darkness. Why? And you know what? Understanding does not mean agree. It's mean understand where it is, what it is. It's not for you to make right or wrong. That's not what understanding is. He said, just get it. And I know understanding in the spiritual realm is the Ruach HaKodesh. He comes to give us the understanding, and we're here to get understanding. And that's why he said, in all your getting, get understanding. Getting that understanding is a light. That means if you can see somebody in the dark or living in a dark life, and you can see behind their darkness. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because you have a light to see where their darkness really pretty much started. And a lot of times you can see the outcome. And that's the sad part, where you end up with the gift of discerning. Okay. But the light is always going to be there to reveal, and it's to give you the darkness, the wicked, the evil. That's what the light is for. The light is not there for you to go check out a higher, or to go see your Yeshua. No, no, no. The light is for you to see in darkness, so you can see the wicked and evil. And that's why Satan has to keep it on. He has to keep a light on. That means whenever he does something, you might not know the fullness of what he's doing, but there is a light that's left on that tampers with your light that you have, that you see the light. Why? Because it's showing you the darkness that's in the midst. And you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. That's the purpose of that light. And what he's telling Satan to do is, I don't care how wicked and evil things are, leave a pen needle of light, so that those that have my light can see the pen needle of light, to see how wicked and evil things are. You see? And a lot of people right today, I was listening to a couple of people call themselves teaching. And I was like, Father, how is it they way left? That's not what you have said. That's not, but it's just the way they interpret it. You see, how can you be able to understand that what they're saying is not the word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah? Why? Because they're speaking not the words that proceed out of the mouth of Yah, or even in the instructions and direction book, they didn't turn it to their understanding and to way they can interpret it to be. So now what? You don't go over there bothering them. Let them do. It's too late, child. It's over. We can't even go interfere with people that's way out on the deep like that. You know why? They're out there. They sailing on the highest sea. They feel that they are totally out there in there. They got it going on. They ain't nobody gonna bother me. I'm on the right track 100. That's how deep it is. But how do I know that that's the deepness of their belief? It's because the light reveal what they're teaching is not spirit and truth. But it's not for Sister Deborah to go over there and knock, hey, you wrong. You got it wrong. You bent. You crooked. You know, no, 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 no. Because it's over. Ahaya don't want us chasing behind those. Because you couldn't tell them nothing even if you try. Tell you another thing. Say, for instance, if Yeshua was to come down and sit in the midst of us, guess what? They still wouldn't see him. They still wouldn't believe. That's how far out in the ocean people have gone. They so far out, but they didn't go out there because they had a good sermon or a good pastor, a good Maureen, a good seer, a good no. They're following darkness, the part that they love. The same identical things. Let me say the example to you all, and I know a lot of people don't even understand it. A lot of people don't know it. They don't even know it. Let me say the example. Like in Genesis chapter 2. In Genesis chapter 2. No, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 8. And Ahiah planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Ahiah to grow tree. You see, every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. Okay. The tree of life in the midst of the garden and the tree of knowledge and good and evil. Okay. Now, why is it Eve and Adam went straight to the tree that was told not to go to? Why couldn't they went to the tree for of life? See what I'm saying? And do you know the tree of life looked at all of it? He said it was good to the sight, but it's just the idea. Why would they head that way to the opposite? See, because a lot of us don't know. This is the power I keep telling y'all. People are denying. Heaven has already orchestrated it. Because I think, I'm going to tell y'all something. When I was in elementary, that was my main question to the Father. 99.9 grown folks couldn't even see into it. And I was in elementary asking this question. I was like, okay, I'm reading in here. And I'm trying to grip the fact that you already knew he was going to do that. I mean, it was already, it's all, like I said, maybe because he's been dealing with me since I was 4. It was almost like I already knew that, okay, this is a plan you got. You got a blueprint on this. That's how I felt. You know, you knew he was going to go. You knew he was going to take that. You knew he was going to go in that direction. That's how I felt it. And that's probably why he began to teach me. I can't say what took place before the foundation of the world, because just reading it lets you know. Because how? What makes you let you know that, Deborah? Furthermore, if everything was perfect in the tree of life, why did you put the tree of knowledge of good and evil? If you felt that this is supposed to have been perfect from the beginning. See, it gets you. I know it. Sister Deborah be all over the place. And the place be all over her, because I always, since I was young, asked these questions to the Father. Like, you said you put them out of the kingdom, but if you didn't want them there, why would you want them down here with us? I ask all quiet. Well, how are we gonna survive? You know, just all kind of stupid questions. They ain't stupid now, because it all makes sense. It's like a puzzle piece. All of it is put together in a spirit, and spirit and truth. So everything that, you know, we might look at it and say Adam and Eve, no, Eve sin and Adam sin, but when it all said and done, the sin didn't start on earth. The problem started in the heaven, and that's what people don't know. That's why they don't know it, because they think that the Father is like unto a man. The way he thinks and the way he does things has to be according to the way they are willing to accept it and receive it. They don't think how you can come up out of that power. They better wash themselves. I'm telling y'all, they better wash themselves. It's impossible. It is impossible. It is impossible for a dumb flesh to recreate another fleshly being like clone without the power of my Father releasing it from heaven. It's no way. All you have to do is come on now, y'all. This is why I say people really don't. I know what the scientists tell you when it's like this. Just think of a plane up there with 300 passengers up in midair, but it's still holding up. I know they got a science reason. The scientist has a reason to break it down to tell you, no, baby, it's still that same mighty right hand. You remember? I'm gonna show you that right hand look like. What that you remember? Now listen to this. That plane up on in the sky with 300 passengers gliding in the midair. Want me to tell you what it remind me of? You remember when the Israelites was going on dry land, and the ocean, or what is it? The ocean and sea was parted, rumbling up, and they was walking through dry land. Try to picture that. and see if you can make sense with it. You ain't gonna ever make sense with it. You'll make more sense of the plane up in midair than to see that part. See what people don't understand, when he parted that sea, the sea was still up on a wall. It was up on both sides. Dry land. How you gonna get dry land out of an ocean? You can't do that. But he can. See, a lot of that's what I was saying to you all. We have totally denied the power because we're thinking that this world is being ruled and controlled by either Satan or the flesh of man. Where is that great and wonderful power that is allowing on both sides to reach potential? How can they do this? They can't. We give them the power. We give man the power to think that he is beyond Yah. We give everybody that's running around here saying, we the people. Oh, I'm a this and I'm a that and I'm a this and I'm a that. We give them the power and the glory. We give this country the power saying they did this, and they did this. Now, baby, let me tell you one thing. Nothing can be done on the earth until the heavens release it. And you know one thing, one person, not one person, entity that would, if had an opportunity, the devil would tell you. Now he'll sit and tell you, now wait a minute, now he let me do some things that I didn't even think he would let me do. He would tell you. You see? But where's the power? No one looks at the idea that these things can't go do. You can't do these things. Just like me in elementary. I'm like, wait a minute. This is supposed to be perfect. Why did you put the other tree of knowledge of good and evil? And this is supposed to be a perfect thing. And if you really wanted it perfect, why did you put that one in here? I had all kind of questions when I was young. But since that probably could be the reason of why he taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. And that seals it all. That seals it all, even to today. Why they have the ability to clone. Come on now, y'all. That clone don't have a spirit, y'all, in case y'all didn't know that. That clone don't have a spirit. You see? Let me tell you where else I learned it. When I was working for Chrysler minivan, and I was on uh, the line, and we had probably 7,000 to 8,000 employees, but I was working with the engine. When I took one look at that, when I first started working, I took one look at that, and you know what I said, y'all? And I know it to be the truth of the whole matter. It's impossible for all these pieces to be on this car. And this car run, this van. It's impossible, y'all. Trillions of pieces. It's impossible. So what did that lead me to believe? He gave them the intelligence to put it together, and he made sure it worked according to what he had given them the intelligence to do. That's that power that we continue to deny because we never knew how to use the power therein. We never tried his power. We never cared about his power. We never seeked his power. We never understood his power. We never wanted anything to do with his power. We just want what we want. And that's one thing we don't want. We don't want the power. And that's why we where we at today, at the end, not knowing nothing. It's nothing, you all. It's nothing they can do. You can't take a heart out of somebody's body and put it in another's. You think that's some type of man that went to school and learned that? Come on now, wake y'all tails up. Who hold life and death? I go into the operating room and they take my heart out, okay, and put a piece of plastic or take my heart out, and give me those what is them bypass or whatever they call it. When it's all said and done, why am I still living? You still don't understand it, do y'all? Ahia got life and death, and not no heart that a man can take out and put over here or give you something else. You see, life and death is still in his power and in his control, because a lot of us don't understand it's the breath of Yah that's in us. Man can't mimic that. No, he can't. They can't mimic that, because see, that breath of life came with the light. And what is the light? It is a spirit. Clone can't get that. They can't get it. They don't have the breath of life of the most high, higher. But what did the most high do? He let them get as close as they can get, but they ain't nowhere near halfway perfect in the breath of life of Yah. You see, the things that we give the world credit for, and we give them praise. Oh, they do this and they do that. Even when it come down to politics, not even understanding. People are so sick when they come down to politics. Trump and Biden and all this. You couldn't get the world nor the people they're in, whether they black or white, to understand that stuff is set up from the flow up, and always was. Even when I remember, and how old was I? I had to have been 34. I had to, no, it might not have been, yeah, probably 34, when I was working as a chef at this one facility and hospital. It's called Bowen's Jewish, really big facility, and it's probably got about 50 different hospitals, but they all the same thing. But this is what happened. Um, I was working there, and I had heard about a football pole. Uh, that's what they called it. And I was like, wait a minute, all the hospitals was getting together, and they were like, okay, it's about football. And I said, oh, I love football. I love football. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I had this thing about watching football, and I could really tell who's gonna win and who. I could just, every move they do, it's just something about it. I was really, really dedicated. And I'm sitting here watching that. So I said, you know what? At that time, my husband he say, at the job, they doing that poll. I said, they doing it over there at which building are they doing it? He was telling me it's a poll, and he was explaining what they do if you know who's going to win. What? And it's gambling. It's gambling. To be honest, it's gambling. No, I mean, I come to understand that it's gambling. I didn't know it was gambling when I was doing it, when I first got in it. But once I started I think I did it for like 3 times. I realized that's a form of gambling, even though it's just telling people who team I think I would win. My oldest brother played football all his life, and he loves football. And every time me and him be on the phone when the games be going on, I was saying, but this one's gonna do this one, this gonna do, and I was really good with who's gonna win. And then all of a sudden, I started looking at them games. I said, wait a minute, how you win over? Wait a minute, things didn't start making any sense. It started, getting, and guess what my conclusion was that pulled me away. This thing is set up. They already know who's gonna win. Because this is not, so where I was feeling, wait a minute, we done lost the game. The game is no longer the game anymore. The game is no longer the game. Then it began to not tackle right. They began to not run. They began to do nothing, throw right. Everything was just like whatever. The whole game was lost to me. And that's when I pulled away from it. I love football still, but I pulled away from it once I played it 3 times. And I started, it just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, this thing is set up. And I was trying to convince my oldest brother that this thing is set up. Oh no, you can't convince these men that that game is set up. But guess what, you all? It always been set up. Always been set up. And I'm gonna be honest. I felt so good when I got with 3 elders at this one place I was at, uh, uh, Gentiles, and I began to tell them about the football game. We was talking about football, and I began to tell them about the football game, and I didn't understand that it was set up like that. I said, as much as I love football, I said, and I can't seem to get a good game. A good game to me is when they know how to tackle, when they know how to run, when they know how to dodge, when they know how to do throw the ball, just going somewhere with the game. And these guys looked at each other and started laughing. And they said it's something that a female see there's something wrong with the game. And you know what they told me? What I was thinking. They said, but you know, it's all set up. I said, don't tell me that. I try to tell people that. I try to get a lot of people out of the football pole because I was telling them this thing is set up, y'all. Don't do this. Don't play this. This is set up. And these guys were saying it. And when they vouched for it, I was like, see there? I knew it. I was a female that loved football, but I knew something was wrong when I couldn't see a good game. I couldn't sit down and watch a good game anymore. Nobody's not getting tackled. I don't like it like that because I had to play football for my brother so that to get the boys at the boy club to play right. He said, okay, I'm going to send my sister in there on you. And they didn't want me to come because I was faster than they were. And when I get them, I grab them and I bring them down like an elephant. And they didn't like that. So here it is. I'm liking football. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where's the game at? What happened to the game? The real football game. And when I saw that, I said, oh, this thing is set up. And when those guys told me that, I said, now, you know what? I said, people would think I'm lying and I'm just talking. They said, no, but you know what those old heads said? These are the 3 Gentiles. They was older than I was. They was way older than I was. They said, but it been like that for years. I said, how is it that I, as a female, 34 years old, can look at the game and tell it's set up? You have to love football. You have to know the game. You have to love the game to be able to see that it's all set up. These men today ain't got sense enough to see that the game is set up from the floor. And when it's set up like it is today, you're not really watching a good game. You're watching a good joke. You see what I'm saying? You're just watching what the elites behind the scene has set the system to play the game and how to play it and who gonna win. See, before they go on the field, guess what? Just imagine the strength in these people and how they have to role play it. I'm gonna tell you one way I saw them do it. One way I saw him do it. First of all, I don't believe in nobody's a good game. Nobody score the first ending. Oh no, first quarter. No, no, that's a good game. You don't see that no more. You don't see that. It's just too much going. Why? Because everybody into the game and they're trying. It appeared as if they trying to win. That's what I call a good game. You see. But what I learned was it's set up. Even in the beginning, the first quarter. It's because the first quarter now they let them score. The one that should win will score. But then after halftime, they have to back up and let the other team that they want to win, the elites want to win, to pull up. I said, this is crazy. I saw that when I was 34 years old. And like I said, I used to like football. I don't like football like that now. I watch it, but I don't like it like I used to. Why? Because it's fake. It's all fake. But see, the thing about it is something in life you have to enjoy. Okay. And I'm so glad that I'm free. Free allow you to be able to see life for what it is and still be in the center of where y'all stand. I praise the Most High. See, when you're free, you're not hindered by, oh, you have to do this. You got to do this. You can't go here. You can't look at this. You can't. No, wait a minute. If that was the case, even Yeshua wouldn't have went in the midst of the people that he went in the midst of. He didn't care. Because he was not about, why did he go to the wedding feast? He said, woman, what is I to do with thee? My time is not yet, so why did you go? You see what I'm saying? We don't understand because we so taught that, oh no, you can't do this, do this, do this. You got to dress right, look like this, and still go where? To the lake of fire. That's a sad thing. Because people don't recognize you got one breath that he's giving you in that spirit. One. And you know what else was told to me early this morning? And I never saw it like that. I never saw it like, he that is born, he that is born, he that is born, he that is born of flesh is flesh. He that is born of spirit is spirit. Oh, how you like him now? You see? He that is born of flesh is flesh. He that is born of spirit is spirit. You can't touch those that's already born. No matter which way they go, they're going to find their way. Why? Because the way has already found them before the foundation of the world. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's like he put you here, ordered all your steps, and don't think that your steps that he ordered was holy than thou, was holy roly. He never told no one that you're going to. He said we're supposed to mimic, walk like Christ, but he didn't say you was going to be Christ himself. And that's where in a lot of churches and a lot of religion, that's what people are living. They're not living free in Yah. And that's why they can't find themselves with the signs and the wonders of who he is and what he represents and what Yeshua meant. No one can find themselves walking that walk because they're so busy listening to the flesh of man and woman that tells them, no, you're going to look like this. You're going to look, I ain't got time for that. Before there was a look, he was dealing with me at 4, talking to me. You think I had a name to call him? It didn't matter. I knew I was listening to him and I was talking to him. It felt good to hear my mother say that. It's been about almost 5 or 6 months when she said, you remember when you used to go down in that basement? I didn't even know she knew. She said, remember you used to go down in that basement? You remember them crossing them Bibles you had? Yeah, honey, I didn't play. I was a little girl. And do you think he brought me to that level from a little girl to where I'm at now to be afraid to watch a football game? Baby, you better stand down off of Sister Deborah. Because let me tell you, every chance I get, I watch football, basketball stuff. I don't like soccer. I don't like baseball. I played baseball for the Untouchables. Shortstop. So no. You think those gifts and those abilities, I got a scholarship to go to college from running track. You think I wouldn't take them times away for nothing. Because if I had them times today, that's where I would be at. That's where I would be at. And I'm getting into the gym. Yes, I am. I'm going to the gym. Do you think a higher care about your nasty body? Get your health in order. Do you some jogging to ease your mind. He ain't tell you to sit there and die, because that's what's happened to people. They don't have no activities. They don't have anything but YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, Patriot, Twitter. And that's why so many voices in the land. So many voices in the land. Only one thing I started to do. I started to do what I always wanted to do. I wanted to compete as a female bodybuilder. Never reached that destiny. But that's what I wanted to do. Never reached that destiny. Why? Because this old hen had a lot of babies. And she stayed and wanted to be a mother at the same time. And that's what I did. I raised them babies. But if I could look back at it and I see that these are the steps that the Father has ordered for me. But do you think I can't go into the gym and work out? You think a higher caught up in me working out? Come on now, people. You got one breath of his spirit in you, in your spirit. One breath of life. Or you going to live it the way a man or a woman say live it? What did Solomon say? You better enjoy your life because that's your portion. That's what Solomon said. Whatever you can do, enjoy it because that's your portion. That means if Yah gave it to you and gave you that ability, enjoy it. That's in the flesh. But what happens, Deborah, when you seek ye the kingdom of Yah first and you put your criteria in order? He is the first, the foremost, the beginning and the end, and everything in between in you. How you don't care about what you do with your flesh, as long as you don't bring sin to the temple. How you like him now? You think he care about you working out? You think he care about you sitting down watching a football game? Come on now. When he know he the head of your life, he knows that you seek him first. You have brought him to the beginning and the end of everything. Come on. I just love who he is. And I thank him that I don't have to be trained under people's traditions that has gotten so many people. What did he say? My people, Deborah, they perish due to lack of knowledge. And that's a part, even the knowledge. The knowledge he's speaking of himself, but it's also a knowledge of knowing that what's important. He is. As long as you put him first. As long as you put him first and don't bring that crap to the temple. You bring crap to the temple, guess what he say? I'm gonna have to take you out just so you can be saved because I'm gonna have to take that body down. Don't come bringing them drugs, alcohol, drinking, smoking, fornication, adultery, whoremongering. Don't bring that stuff to the temple because I'm gonna have to take you out. But a higher wants you to enjoy whatever ability that he put in you. You think he taught me all that he taught me how to do? Do you all understand? No, you don't understand the gifts he put in my hand to be able to do any and everything I put my hand to. Nowadays, he's starting to tell me, be careful. Because I'm a person that believes in if I'm going to do this or I'm going to prepare this, I'm going to create this, bam! I know that I can. But he wants you to be careful because you don't know who you're dealing with. So he wants you to be able to use that discerning spirit and try the spirits by the spirit, because a lot of times I do things and later on I realize, why did I put so much in? Why did I invest so much in something that wasn't even worth investing in? But this is where you learn to, okay, you fall on that, get up, shake yourself off and go to the next, and know that these things too are higher will allow that you can run the race according to his will in you. The next time you'll know it's to be different. If you fall then, get up and keep going till you stop falling. You see? And then after a while, all of you look back at it, you realize, wait a minute, them steps he ordered for me to fall, just so I can get it to the fullness. After falling 2 or 3 times, realizing that there's something in you that's created to bend over backwards, has always been. And I'm sure if my mother would come on here and join with me, she would tell you. She would tell you. She said this child would give her head away if it wasn't detached. And she used to tell me that when I was a teenager and never understood what she meant. Then when I first got my own place and everything, she would say that, Booby, don't give your stuff away, baby. Don't do that. Don't, Booby, you get your stuff away. Don't, because to me, if somebody needs something I felt it was needed that I give it to them. I don't worry about it. Why? Because a higher always back me up later on. And then he'll remind me, remember when you gave that? Remember when you did this? You remember when you done this? He always bring it back. Because when he told me, I said to him, and I went crying. I was crying. I said, Father, why is it I'm like I am? Why is it I'm the type of person that gives so much and get nothing in return? I don't look for it, Father, but it's just so, it just seemed like it's out of control. I don't know how to stop giving, giving, giving. And you know how I found out about he was giving? That's how I found out he was giving and gave. All these years, all these years. He said, Deborah, you're a carbon copy of who I am when it come down to give and gave. That's who I am. And that's when he had me to do the search of love and find out that it was give and gave. That's what he did. He said, that's a me. That's a carbon copy of who I am. I never knew that in all my years. I never knew that until he broke that thing down to me. But why did he let me do that for so many years, you guys? I think I did it up until I was like, no, I ain't gonna sit and lie. Let me stop saying did it up until I was like, still do it today. But it's now that he revealed it to me, it makes me see that it's something that I can't stop. I can't control. I can't even control it. So it's something that he gave me before the foundation of the world when I came down here. He gave that to me. You see what I'm saying? So I can't get away from it even if I try. But I tell you what I do. I appreciate him revealing to me exactly what it was and what it represents. Because it made me see that, okay, I'm crying because I'm a giver. And I don't have those that gives, but I'm a giver and I don't care, you know? And when he came, he was like, I don't understand. I don't want to keep being like this. And I was saying it just like that. I don't want to keep doing this and giving people everything and doing everything and giving them this, giving them this, giving them this. Just in it didn't matter. But when he came and he told me that, wouldn't I would have liked to know that even when I was in high school, because I was like the same way then. I would have liked to know that years ago. But then maybe, no, I wouldn't have. I think I would still be doing like I'm doing. I think I'd still be doing it. But it's just the idea that I waited, you know, when I'm at my years, elderly years to know that that is his characteristics of who he is, who he was. He is give and gave. While everybody trying to find out about love, he said, no, I'm give and gave. The action of what they want to use as love is give and gave. I am him. And I'm like, okay, and that made me feel really good. It really did. It made me feel really good to know that because I didn't know that, y'all, for years. But and I'm just thinking to myself as I'm telling you all, why did he wait until I start getting emotion and crying and boo-hooing and really making a scene to myself over that? Oh, I went to the honey, let me tell you, I went to the altar, honey. I was just, I don't understand. I don't want to be like this. I don't understand. And I was cutting up. I ain't gonna sit here and lie, cutting up. And that's when he told me in my spirit. He just smoothed that thing out. That's what's called spirit and truth. When he comes and give you the truth of the whole matter. But I was saying to myself, I said, well, I would have liked it to know that long time ago so I could have had some understanding why I was doing it. But it didn't matter to him that I knew until the day and the hour in which in a minute that he have explained it to me. But I was hooping and hollering and crying and acting a fool trying to get some understanding out of that. But he came on through and he told me, and I'm glad that it is a characteristics of who he is, even when he created everything he created is what he gave. He didn't say I love and I gave you day and night. I love and I gave you stars and sun. No, you ain't see all that, and you ain't gonna see it. But he gave. He gave. That's how we got it. You felt good when you heard it from your mom. That's right. I don't know. Yeah, because he is in you. I want to share something also. I want to share you. I'm going to share something with you. Uh, let's go here to Genesis 25. And I'm going to show you how you really got to be very careful in who you entertaining and who you or learning underneath. I ain't gonna say you need to be careful. It's over. It don't matter. It don't matter who you listen to because it's over. Or how you say he ain't finna straighten up nothing. Finna throw up and throw down everything that needs to be brought forth in the world today. He's bringing it out. Satan having himself a good time. What's that drug called fentanyl? Is that fentanyl? Fentanyl. That drug addiction thing that's taking these kids and these people out of here that you never thought would ever be hooked up on it. They're getting them out. In Genesis 25, I want to show y'all how beautiful this is to me. And I hope it feels like that to you too, because when I read it, it goes back with me to show me that it is so much you will never know it all. Give or take, give yourself 10, 20. Don't give yourself no more than that. Don't say you know it all, y'all, because we don't. Sister Deborah don't know more than 20. I ain't gonna even say even 20. But I'm just saying, give yourself that much. But don't go around thinking you know 50, 180, because baby, let me tell you something. It's not a person on this devil platform. No spirit and truth. I have heard from them. No spirit and truth. I've heard a couple of people teach it, but really keep on expounding on it. I think they still teach it. I'm gonna give them that. I still think they teach it. It's just that the people don't hear it. They don't know what it is, so they can't um, connect with it. And it's such a powerful thing because it is the power of Yah. But let me show you something here. Listen to this here. Here we go, y'all. We're going from Genesis chapter 25, and we're going to stop. We're going to start with verse 21. Verse 21. Genesis 25 and verse 21. That's good. That's good. But yeah, so you were like that too, huh? Never could understand why we keep giving and gave. Why? Couldn't figure it out. But I'm thankful for him revealing it, even though it took all my life, not all my life, but a long time. But I still thank him for it because everything in him is set on time and season, and now it's just on that hour now. But I thank him for revealing it to me because that was something I thought was making me look crazy because you give and you just don't care who it is. You don't you want I was never caught up in color or race or if you needed anything and I didn't care if that person needed it and I might even buy it new. It just was I don't know. I just was an individual. Just don't care about nothing long as I'm giving and gave. That's how I am. That's how I always was. So when the Father told me I was created like that, I felt much better. I felt much, much better. So in Genesis chapter 25, I want to show you something in what did I say? Verse 21. And it says, and Isaac intrigued Ahiah for his wife because she was barren. That means she didn't have any children. Okay. She hadn't had any. And Ahiah was intrigued of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Listen to this. Verse 22. And the children struggle together within her. So I want to choose. This is why I say that the tribe of Judah and the house of Israel are sick people. They are very sick, ill people because they don't go back to the bosom of Yah and see how the Father has orchestrated things according to the way that He has willed it, even up until this day. And the reason why I say they're very sick is because Deuteronomy 28 said that they would be. And they have They still fight up against what he has already prophesied. Who fight against the prophecy in this time of Yah? Who does that? Do you think? Let me hold up. Hold on. Let me ask y'all something. Ask this question. Do you think Satan fighting up against the prophecy of Yah? Everything Yah said that has been given in the instructions in Revelation is not that stuff coming to pass? Well, come on now. So do you think that Satan is fighting up against the prophecy? No, he's glad. Because in Proverbs 16 and verse 4, he said, I created the evil and the wicked for the days of evil and wicked. So they know they got their time. You think they gonna fight up against? Why would Satan want to fight up against the prophecy of the Father when the prophecy is giving him some time period to do all the wicked and evil that they're doing? Why would they fight up against it? When the tribe of Judah fights up against everything that the Father stands for. And it's a sad thing that people can't see that. Now watch this here. They don't know they left from their right. I know Isaac said it. I know Ezekiel said it. I know Jeremiah said it. Now Sister Deborah said it. We all are prophets. It's been said thousands of years, and here we are living today, and yet he still have a prophet saying the same thing. Why? Because I'm beholding what Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah have said. I can stand today and vouch they've been on it. They same today, Jeremiah, same today, Ezekiel, same today, Isaac. So what makes you think today the Father ain't gonna send his to give you that right now warning of the prophecy? See how sick people are? Oh no, he can't do that. Why? Because we want to treat him like he's a man and not like he's the creator of all things, having the beginning and the end and everything in between in his power. Denying the power. Now listen to this. In Genesis chapter 25 and verse 22, the children struggled together within her. See, the battle between Esau and Jacob didn't start in the land of Babylon or the land of the United Snakes. You get what I'm saying, y'all? See, while we sitting here talking about, oh, when they did that, they did that, they did that, they did that. Esau is the devil. Jacob is, y'all sound sick and stupid on these corners. You see, they don't want to go in and read, but then they can't. The Father just said that to my spirit. Deborah, they can't see what I don't give them to see. They can't hear what I don't give them to hear. And if there's no light in them, they cannot see spirit and truth. So that's it. So let me proceed. Let me continue. So knowing that they are never going to see it. I know that anyway, but I thank him for bringing that up to cut a lot of what I'm about to say. So in verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, wait a minute. Rebecca, no, you didn't go to the altar. I know you didn't go to that altar. Listen to what she said. If it be so, why am I this? And she went to inquire of Ahiah. Look like Sister Girl went to the altar, y'all. Wait a minute. Where's Isaac? Your head. You better make sure your head covered, Rebecca. You better not go to the altar. You know you ain't the head. You better send Isaac. Rebecca is about to go to the altar of the Most High Ahiah, as it said. Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, now that's a battle. Just imagine a woman having twins. They in there fighting. See, you don't hear the men teach that. And that's sad. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying about how they are teaching the people. They teaching them their way. This woman having a problem with her birth. What is her problem? She sees that there's a war in her. She knows she can't go to her husband because he don't know his left from his right. So who does she go to? The altar of the Most High. You mean she don't go to the altar? She went to the altar without her head. I wonder, did she have her head covered? Sister girl knew. Now watch this here. And this is going to show you that a lot of things that they saying to y'all, it's up to you. You can go on and believe it all you want. Because it's over. Now listen to this. Now she going to the Father. Watch what she says. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire to her husband, Isaac? No, to Ahiah. Rebecca went to the throne of Yah. Now watch this here. 23. And Ahiah said unto her, wait a minute. Oh, hold up. Ahiah. Hold up now. She got to go through the chain of command. Her husband ain't right there with her. She ain't got her head covered, I don't think. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father Yah. Where is Yeshua HaMashiach? Looked like Rebecca went to the throne of the Most High Ahiah. And what happened? Ahiah heard her. And what did he say? And Ahiah said unto her, wait a minute. You mean you didn't tell Isaac? Wait a minute, Father Yah. Wait a minute, Father. You keeping a little secret here, ain't you? Why ain't these men preaching that? Wait a minute. Hold on, Father Yah. Something wrong with this picture. And what did she do? And verse 23, and Ahiah said unto her, 2 nations, praise the mighty Yah, are in thy womb. Ahiah prophesied to her. Where is Isaac? Come on now. See, they don't teach y'all that, do they? See, nobody know nothing about that, do they? No, you don't. This is how far from what spirit and truth that people are. They distance. Now here it is. Now, say for instance, it didn't say Ahiah said. This is telling you clear shot. The voice that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. Ahiah said. Isaac can't say it. Moses can't say it. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, I'm not saying it. Ahiah said to her. Y'all don't get it, do you? See the power? She goes to the altar of the Father. She didn't take Jacob. And the Father, what? Come to her altar. To his altar to meet her. And to speak and commune to her what is going on in her womb. Wait a minute, baby. You mean they was cutting up from the floor up? She said, yes. They were actually born in my womb. Okay? Watch this here. Why didn't she tell her husband? Let's go here. She might have told him. Watch this here. Verse 3. And Ahiah said unto her, well, where's Jacob? Where's Isaac? He ain't saying unto Isaac. Watch this here. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So he's telling her, he gave her 2. Now, see, this is beyond Isaac. This has nothing to do with Isaac's sperm. This has nothing to do with David, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. No. Ahiah is telling her something very powerful. Very powerful. Between who? Wait a minute. Hold up. This ain't between Isaac, her husband. This is a conversation between woman and the Creator. You see? Why didn't Yah say to her, woman, you're not supposed to be speaking? Shut your mouth. Have your husband to confront me. Go talk to Jacob first and then let Jacob come before me. Come on now, y'all. You see how sick they sound? Even Paul cannot tell her to shut her mouth. You see? Ahiah, she went to the throne and the throne met her face to face. And what did he say? And Ahiah said unto her, to Rebekah, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Now, this is where the Hebrew Israelite has to shut down. They have to understand that this was orchestrated from the heaven, not from the earth. It's nothing Jacob did. It's nothing Esau did, y'all. She The one that's supposed to keep their mouth closed, keep their head covered, don't say nothing. You got to tell your husband got to go to the altar first because he's a chain of command. Come on now. She's at the altar. The altar is at her. And her and the Most High Creator is rumbling. And he break that thing down to her. What is he breaking down to her? The prophecy. He didn't break it down to Isaac. And she didn't break it down to Isaac either. And I don't blame her. He couldn't feel that war in her. She might have told him, I don't know what's going on up in here. They doing something they ain't got no business. She had no other choice but to go to the altar of the Most High. She knew something was going on in her womb. Now listen to what the Father gave her. He not only told her there's two nations. That means two different people. Two different people are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. They was Esau and Jacob was separated in her bowels. They were already separated because Ahiah had put two nations, two people, separate people in her. Now I wonder wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Now what's going on? Not a Hebrew Israelite man can break that one down at all, because they wouldn't have sense enough. Now watch this here. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Wait a minute, hold up, Father Yah. Hold up, Father Yah. One people will be stronger than the other people. Wait a minute. How is it the creator of all things can confront a woman and let her know he put two nations, two people, one people is going to be stronger than the other people? Now he's giving her all this prophecy. Look at all this beautiful prophecy of how you're telling her that's going on in her womb. Where's Isaac? Well, man, hold up. What's going on with that? Now watch this here. Then the other people, one gonna be stronger than the other people. That means Jacob and Esau and Jacob, they're gonna be two different people. One gonna be stronger than the other. So when you see this country the way that it is, that's because that's the country that he said will be stronger. It's not as stronger than Jacob. See, this before. See, we sitting here trying to master everything out of the flesh of man and trying to make it the way they say it is. But we never sit our tails down with the Ruach HaKodesh and be taught. I know it. They want us to go every corner and every other book. They want to go to us here and take us there and take us all over the place. You say, I don't need to do that, Deborah. I am the word. What books do I need? Why do I need to bounce you in and out of other books? Why do I need to bounce you in and out of this book when I am the word? You see what I'm saying? This here, you'll never hear them preach and teach this, because it kicked man to the curve. And none of y'all never saw that, did you? You don't see that, do you? You don't see how man, Isaac, bam, kicked to the curve. This between Hagar and woman. Many times it's in here like this, but they'll never preach and teach it because they want you to think that women is useless and you's a liar from the pit of hell. I'm not a dead prophet. I'm a living one to tell you, you are a liar. Now watch this here. Now watch what he did to her. And the elder shall serve the young. The elder shall serve the young. Why is that? Why is it the elder should serve the young? The young right now is under the control of the stronger one. But why is it that the elder shall serve the young? Because that's a part of the Most High has always orchestrated it. Ever since, I don't even know, I think it was right during the same time Cain and Abel. Abel, the older one, killed the young one. And throughout that time, it was always the young one, serving or looked at as the one Yah chose over the elder. So it's just coming down like unto that. Now listen to this here. And the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 24. And when her days to deliver were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Now watch this here. Verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Watch this here. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took a hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Okay, watch this here. Verses 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Now watch this, verse 28. And Isaac, listen to this, y'all. Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his virgins. It's that vengeance. No, it ain't no bird. It's vengeance. But Rebecca loved Jacob. You notice the man loved Esau. Y'all don't see the men ain't gonna preach that to y'all, are they? They ain't gonna preach to you. Isaac loved who? Esau. Isaac cared for Esau. That was his son. Isaac cared for Esau. Just like Joseph, he had two sons. But when his blessing came for them to get blessed, he's going to put in front of Jacob the son he wanted. But the father wanted the blessing to come to the other son. But Joseph thought that Jacob was going to bless the son that he wanted him to bless. But no, that's not where the blessing comes, y'all. It's orchestrated from heaven already. You can't give y'all what you want him to do because your thoughts are not his. His thoughts are not yours. So he blessed the other son of Jacob, Joseph, because he wanted him to bless his. I think he's his first son. But the order is the youngest son is what Ahiah takes to. Now watch this here. Listen to this. In verse 20. Now we know that Rebecca loved Jacob. I mean, cared for, gave concern regarding Jacob, and Isaac gave concern toward Esau. And Jacob sobbed, what is it, pottage? And Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And he was, wait a minute, and he was faint. Esau was faint. Now watch this here. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red porches, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Therefore his name was called Edom. Now watch this here, Jacob 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point of death. Now, why is he saying he's at the point of death? He wasn't at the point of death. I am at the point of death. And what profit shall this birthright do me? Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and portrait and lenten. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. See, what people did not, why they on the corner saying Esau is the devil and all this, baby, please. That's you see how they went and they, whoo boy, Esau despised his birthright. What does that mean? He didn't like the idea that he was the first son. He was the elder. Because somewhere in him, he knew that the elder was not the favored in Ahiah's eyes. He felt that. That's why he didn't have no problem giving through swearing to Jacob his birthright. Why you say that, Deborah? Because listen to what he says. And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. He didn't have no problem with that. He did it instantly. He wasn't dying. It's just he didn't. It says in verse 34 that he despised. And if you see, I don't know if y'all Bible shows you a slanted word called his, His. That's Esau, his birthright. He didn't he just knew that his birthright wasn't going to mount up to anything. So he didn't favor it. He didn't like the idea that he was the elder. Okay? Even though he was looking toward the blessing from his dad, but he had a feeling. And Jacob taking the birthright didn't have no connection to anything, y'all. Jacob taking the birthright of Esau didn't have no connection at all. Why? Why was that? Anybody know? Jacob's selling Esau, I mean, giving him soup or poetry wasn't about really the birthright. It really wasn't. It was really more so showing you that Esau wasn't concerned about himself being the elder. You see, he really wasn't. That's why it says Esau despised his birthright. So that's why he didn't have no hard time. He didn't have a hard time giving his birthright, swearing his birthright over to Jacob. Just because he swore his birthright over to Jacob didn't mean nothing, y'all. See, this here is where you see where people use that, and try to make individual out of monsters instead of seeing that the relationship between uh, the Most High and Rebecca was given to her way before what you see today. You know how they on the corner say Esau is the devil, and and all this. Where do you see that here? You see Esau. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Another question. The movie, it wasn't Almond. I don't think it was the Almond. I think it might have been where there. You remember when that demonic son was born, and he was at the mountain where the ocean at night, and he was crying up to the heavens saying, "Why me? Why me? I don't want to take this position. I don't want it. I don't want it." I don't know if y'all know anything about that movie. It's where this little boy, he's dressed in black, he's at the mountain on the top at midnight, and he's speaking to God, right where the ocean is at, and he's telling him he don't want to be the one. I don't want to this position. He was crying to God, saying, "Why did you send me here? Why do I have to take this position?" I don't know. It wasn't Omen. It might have been, but it was. Let me see. No, he didn't. He didn't because he knew in him that his birthright didn't mean crap. So he didn't have no respect for it. He knew it didn't mean anything. He didn't have no problem giving it to Jacob. He knew his birthright didn't mean crap, even though he was his daddy favorite. He knew it didn't mean nothing. Why? Because there's something in him already knew that it didn't mean anything. Deep down inside. That's why it said, if you look at verse 34, you see the word his, despise his. You'll see it HIS. It's slanted to show you that's something to meditate on. His birthright. That's just showing you he despised it. It wasn't something that he was glad to have, to be the elder. Okay. Now, the thing about it was what he told Rebecca, the relationship between Rebecca and Yah. So what did that tell you? You remember how people run back and they talk about Rebecca lied and she put Jacob up there and had Jacob to dress like Esau. You see how they said that? But don't forget, who did he give the prophecy? Who did the father hand the prophecy to? To Rebecca. Rebecca, he told Rebecca, the elder one would be the strong one, and the young one would what? The elder will serve the young. So she had knew before they was even birth that her elder son is going to serve her younger son. Now, what is it they didn't get? Because they put her mouth, they closed her mouth, because Paul said a woman not supposed to speak, and they shut her down and said we ain't listening to her. And that's why they lost without a cause today in many things, because they listening to their own flesh and not listening to spirit and truth. Teach them. So when Rebecca took Jacob and told him to she made the porridge for Isaac because she knew how to make it, and she knew how to dress Jacob with his hairy so he can feel like who? Esau. You see what I'm saying? But the blessing was going to come to who? Jacob, either way it went. It's just that because Ahiah told Rebecca that the elder shall serve the young, then she's looking at it. Esau can't get the position because the father had spoke to me before I even birthed him that it will be the young that will be served by the elder. So if the elder get the blessing, then what? Then the young has to serve the elder. Get it? Get it? Get it? No, no one gets it. No one understands it because a man in the flesh didn't give them the interpret of his spirit, his wisdom and his knowledge of what was just said. And that's why people are bent up and down with no spirit and truth, because they see in the way it's taught out of the mouth of a man and can't see, wait a minute, I should be listening to spirit and truth. Listen to the spirit of Yah as I break this thing down in you. That's called understanding. Because if you realize, wait a minute, he never told Isaac. Isaac would have gave it to Esau. But Ahiah told Rebecca, not Isaac. He told Rebecca where the blessing really was going to go is to the young. So how is it Isaac going to make the choice to give it to the elder? No, no. So it wasn't that she was doing something so crooked. She was doing the order in which Ahiah had given her the prophecy. You see, a lot of them said how she jumped in it and stepped in it and did her thing. Used a lie from the pit of hell. Heavens has already orchestrated it in her bosom and gave her the prophecy from heaven. Without a man. How you like him now? He didn't need Isaac to give her that. He did it himself. And even if Isaac Isaac was going to give it to the one that he didn't tell that was going to be the inherited. But what? Ahiah turned that thing around. Made sure the young received the blessing. And the elder will serve the young. So that's where we're at today. Where people didn't understand Jacob and Esau. This doesn't give us a reason to say Esau is the devil. These are still Isaac's children. You see, that just shows you the hate even in the Hebrew Israelite movement. It's a high level. That hate for women didn't just come out of midair. That's just their hearts. That's just who they are. Because they want to teach this word out of the flesh and not out of spirit and truth. They don't want to be led by the spirit and truth of the whole matter. They want to be led by the flesh so they can grip all kind of books and try to whoop you with precepts and precepts and line and line. He knew what he did. He knew how he had orchestrated it. He even put Rebecca there to make sure that she played the role. If it was up to Jacob, Jacob wouldn't have dressed up like Esau. That was Rebecca. Why? Because she was given the prophecy. They didn't tell y'all that, did they? They didn't tell the father gave her the prophecy, not a man. Okay? So Jacob represent in the spiritual realm, follow, heal, to be behind. He came behind Esau. He grabbed Esau's heel and he followed behind the one that was strong. Okay? So that's what Jacob is said from the heavenly level. He was called follow, heal, to be behind. And that's what he was. He was behind in her womb. These were things he was in her womb. These were the way Ahia orchestrated it, you guys. So the way man today place it, they always gonna place it their way to get their glory out of it. And they get the praise from it. And they be all the way lying. This is about showing you right there an example of Rebecca, and it's a relationship between her and the Most High Ahia. Y'all ain't never heard that one, have you? Y'all ain't never heard that one. But there it is right in front of your face. That's why Rebecca was switching Jacob for Esau. That was all still in the power and the authority and in the right will of the Father. Why? Because he gave it to her when she was young. I mean, when she was early in her early pregnancy. And it tells you that. And I'm going to show you where it tells you that. Let me show you where it says here. Verse 23. Genesis 25 and 23. And Ahia said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the young. Now listen to this. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled. See, she wasn't even at that 9 and 8. She still was away when she was in her early pregnancy when she was consulting Yah because something was going on. They was battling with each other while they were in her womb at an early stage. She couldn't go to Isaiah and ask him why they doing this. What's going on up in here? They fighting in her womb. So she had to go to the Father. I love that. That's beautiful. She didn't go to Isaiah. She went to the Father herself. And the Father came to her and met her there at the altar and gave her the whole lowdown. So that's why she put Jacob in place of Isaac. In place of Esau. See, they wouldn't even understand that. They wouldn't even see it like that. But there it is. And she was having problems with them battling in her womb at a young age. At a very young age. And you know what? Honestly, that was really smart. That was a really smart woman to go to the Father's altar and say, what the crap is going on here? And he gave her the whole thing, to the point when they were grown, she took Jacob to get the blessing of Isaac. They were grown, you see? But this was named in her womb. Ahia showed her this. So she already had kept what the Father had told her. She ain't going to let Jacob give it to who he want to. Now, did she follow Jacob? No. She followed what? The prophecy of who? The Father. Oh, they ain't going to tell you about that, are they? How you like him now. See, it's so many things in there that he has done that you would never, what he say? They perish, Deborah. They perish. And I said, Father, wait a minute. He said, don't hold up me. Don't stop there. Why are they perishing, Deborah? It says due to lack of knowledge. When that's it. Why of lack of knowledge, Deborah? Because they reject. You mean they rejected? That's what's going on today. They reject the knowledge that is spirit and truth because they want to tell the story to convince people that they know A to Z. And they don't even know half of A. They still on A. Because if you didn't know where us was in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and you don't know the end game of Deuteronomy 28, you lost without a cause. And you ain't going to find your way home, baby. Nowhere. You will probably die before you even see a way home because that's how bad it is. People don't get it and they ain't going to get it. And it ain't meant for people to get it. And they don't care. That's what the Father said. They don't care if they don't get it, Deborah. You more caring about them getting it than I am. And then they are themselves. They don't care. But he knew that. He knew that they wouldn't. So I just wanted to share that. Anybody got anything else to share with us? I just wanted to share that with you all, just to show you these are the things that no one, you never, anybody on the platform ever knew that Rebecca had a conversation one-on-one with the Father, and Isaac didn't know nothing about it. Did any of y'all know about that? Did any one of y'all knew that she went to the altar of the Father and the Father met her there, and he gave her the prophecy? Why was it a prophecy? Because it was when they were getting older, when the blessing, when Isaac getting ready to pass away. So they was grown men. So what's the deal? Wait a minute, hold up. How could that be? Where was Jacob? I mean, where was Isaac? Nowhere to be seen in this prophecy. This between her and who? The Most High, Ahiah. Now, have anyone? Yep, I've read it too. You're right. But he was showing it to me just to show me that how we are in this day, and it's just so much that we have missed. That's why I started off by saying that I know 20%. But when he was breaking that down, I was like, you mean you communicate with Rebecca? Yes, I did, Deborah. Okay, that's good. That's good. You knew from reading it. That's really good. I never knew that he broke that thing down to her. That means she went to the altar and he met her there. And she heard from him. They talked. Yeah, I've read it too, but I never heard it spoken in that way that a female was communing with the prophecy that Ahiah was placing out. Yep, you're right. Read yourself and let him teach us. That's right. So you did know that she went to, that's good. That's really good. She went to him. That's beautiful. Well, what's wrong with these people in this world? What's the problem? Look like who told the woman not to speak? This woman then went all the way to the altar. And she didn't stop at her husband. You see, to me, and that's beautiful that you already knew it. That's really good that she went to him, because that leads me to realize that, wait a minute, just as you continue to say to me, Father, that it's just so much that's just has not been understood, and it don't matter no more, y'all. It's over. He said it's over. It's over. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never heard no one teach it and preach. It's just like you won't hear them tell you anything positive about a woman. And that's, to me, it's almost, to me, that is like she was like almost like a prophet or prophetess. He took and he gave her what was going to happen, what was in her womb. He gave her the whole mystery of what was in her womb. He told them two nations, two different people, one gonna be stronger and one gonna serve the other. He gave her a whole lot, and then turned around and said one gonna serve the other. He gave her a whole lot to go on, you guys, and it didn't have to cross a man to give it to her. And I'm gonna pull out something else again to show you all how all these powerful message has been missed. And now it's been said, now this is what I have heard. It's been said that she was out of line for dressing uh uh um Jacob up and making that, and so he can get the blessing over Esau. That didn't have nothing to do with her. That's the prophecy of the Most High or higher. That's what that had to do with. She was following the prophecy. Oh, they ain't gonna tell you that. No, she didn't even have to go through a man. Don't you think that's strange? The way they talk about women, this woman went strict. You know what? I think that what they were doing in her stomach was off the chain. I think so. I think that what they were doing in her wound was off the chain. You imagine what that felt like, them fighting up in her wound like that? And I think it was beautiful that the Father gave her understanding, because that understanding that the Father gave her while they were in her womb made her understand that she was truly blessed. She was truly blessed to know what was in her womb, what was coming out, what's going to be what in their future. He didn't have to tell her that. He shot it all straight to her. He told her one going to be strong and one going to serve the other. It's two nations. I mean, he didn't have to tell her that, but he did. I mean, it's sad. And that's what I say. It's kind of it's sad, because this is going back to what I was saying to you all. Live your best life, okay? Don't live your life based on, you don't know if tomorrow is not promised to you nor I. As long as you know that you keeping him first and foremost, the beginning of your life and the end. As long as you put him first, put him up on the pedestal at all times, and don't take him down. Keep him up there at all times. Even when you have to say to him, look, talk to him like he all that and some. He's so high. He's so big. He's so great. Feel that thing in you. You see? And you'll see that, this is what Solomon was saying. Enjoy the portion in which Ahiah has given you. See, they don't tell you to do that, because they want us to feel that we are still in a second slavery. We still in captivity to a man. We already in captivity to the Gentiles and the heathens. But no, we need you to be in captivity to us too. That means your life is gone. You only come here to lay on your back and to make sure you cook, clean, and everything for them. That is not of Yah. Yah wants you to enjoy whatever he has given you. He has given you his breath of life. So your spirit, and his breath is in you. Act like it's in you and enjoy that breath of life and the image that he's given you, which is a spirit like unto himself. Enjoy it. Appreciate it. Thank him for the breath of life. And put him on a pedestal at all times. 24, 24. If it's a 25, put him up there too. Yeah, that's how it was with me. I had a lot of questions, but I used to go down in that basement as a little girl. My mother had me going when she told me, remember you used to go down in that basement? I sure did. No spirit and truth. And that's how you can look at it and kind of brush it off. Even what people are saying, and if they don't have it right, it's no need to debate them. It's no need to argue with them and fuss with them. Just know that they just don't have. He said and said, "He that hears, he that has an ear, let him hear." That means who have the Holy Spirit, let him hear. Okay. And he said, they say they see Deborah, they cannot see. They say they hear, they cannot hear. You see? So he's actually letting you know that it's okay that they can't hear. It's okay that they can't see. Because this is what I have done. So it don't keep you just keep doing what you doing, because you can see, you can hear. For that breath of life, yes. And he ain't gave you that breath of life for someone to control it. Do y'all? I don't think y'all really get it. And that breath of life was given to you. When it snatched that breath of life from you, it don't mean it's snatching it from your husband. Or if it's snatching from the husband, don't mean it's snatching it from the wife. That's just showing you, even though he said you're one in the flesh. When he sees you as one, and hoping that you will be one in the spirit. If he understands that he has to be first, not first, but he has to submit himself to Yeshua and Hamashiach. Not sure, Yeshua and Yah. He has to submit himself, and then when you see him submitting, then you say, "Wait a minute, I want to taste of that good stuff," and then you submit. But why are you submitting to him and him showing you no action? His whole personality is wicked and evil, and you trying to submit to him. No, they got that all the way bent. Because you might as well tell Satan, where you at? Let me join in. When you submitting to people's flesh, you want to submit to them in the spirit of who they are. Once you see them submitting, you see them conducting themselves like they men that has put the Father first. Then that's when you step into that realm. But don't just give yourself, and when you pass away, you got to stand before the altar by yourself. You looking around, where's my husband? I submitted to him. I had to do what he told me. The Father gonna look at you and say, no, I gave you your own breath of life. Not only that, I gave you an image of me with your own spirit. Your husband ain't got nothing to do with that. And that's the mystery he was talking about. He said, but there's a mystery to that. See, because that's what they ain't gonna teach y'all. There's a mystery, and that's these men ain't gonna teach these silly women. That there's a mystery to that. Now let me tell y'all this. Now listen to this. Say for instance, come judgment, and the biblical direction and instruction, and the word that proceed out of the Father's mouth, which is the cap. If it said that come judgment, okay, woman, since you submitted to your husband, he's gonna be liable for your sin. He's going to be held accountable. Okay? You watch, they change that tone. They would change that tone if he said that. Why? Because now, whatever I do, you're going to be held accountable. Oh, no. But wait a minute. But I gave you my whole life. I submitted to you, did it every your way. Let you lead, let you guide, let you rule. That's not what he's saying, y'all. That's why I said, people, you have to understand, if you got to stand before a higher by yourself, which you will, that should tell you right there. You stand your stupid tail down here and be submissive or submitted to him, ruling you in a way that he's not even submissive to the most high or higher. Let known Yeshua. No. Then you stand up before the judgment. You go exactly where he going. Because you submitted to that. That's not what the Father is saying. We each got our own breath of life that he snatches. But we all has our own image of him in us as a spirit. We have a spirit, okay, like unto his spirit. So if we stand before him in glory, you best bet your husband ain't gonna be nowhere in sight. And vice versa. Ain't gonna be nowhere to be found. So just think of y'all, just think of that. Does that make any sense? That you right here today, you can't stand for yourself because your husband are over you. He ruled over you. He tells you beginning to the end. He tells you how to dress, to talk, act, look, eat. He controls your whole life. Then when you get to heaven, what is your life going to be based on? Everything he told you to do. What if he didn't submit himself to the most high or higher? Then you go down with him. You better get yourself together with a higher, your own self, your own self. That's why he said the father, the husband, the wife can sanctify the husband, and the husband can sanctify the wife. Because even the husband, when he see the wife, he can see her walking upright, see her, see Yah in her. Okay, and then he himself sees and said, I want to taste of that too. I'm gonna get to know him like that too. You see, just because she's walking upright, and he see that and desire it, because it can be both ways, and it said that it can. So it ain't nothing. It's just the things that they have taught so many years, and everybody just assume that everything is the way they say it is, without even letting the Ruach teach them anything, or to give them the understanding of all things, because that's what he come to do. So anybody have anything else they want to discuss on this day of talking? Real talk. Hmm. Praise the Most High or higher. And if you just you keep following Yeshua, guess what? Your husband eventually he'll follow. Just keep your pace. Just if you keep your pace, if you're still with him, but if you keep it, he eventually. But you have to be right. See, he's gonna follow if you walking in it right, and that's what's gonna make him follow. Because a higher will make him follow. But if you're not fully walking in it to just walk in him, don't worry about what he doing. Don't even look his way. Just see your way. What says stay in your lane. You watch it. Everything he did, do, and used to do, still do, what he'll drop it all just to follow, run in that same lane you in. That's that thing that where you stay in your lane, and you just run, and anything behind you gonna want to follow you, because you're running in that lane that a higher has prepared for you to run in. Yep. And he was telling me about the lawlessness. He's told me that's a form of purge, and I was like, oh no, no. I never saw that movie Purge, not all the way. I only saw a small portion of it, of the first one. I think that was. But this is what he was saying. That is a form of purge, is what you're seeing today. And no one would call it that, but it's a lot of stuff going on, you guys, that is not being checked on, looked at, or it's just all wrong, it's okay. All everything is just everything wicked and evil is okay. No one has any other topics that we could cover? We got a few more minutes. And if not, okay, I can see that. And though it was similar to it or will happen, Yah prophecy bringing fulfill being fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Purge. Uh-huh. Yep. He says he's gonna purge the daughters of Zion, but he's gonna do that. Hmm. And like I was telling you all in Isaiah chapter 3, if you go down where he said that the daughters of Zion naughty, and follow all those things that he's going to stripped from her, it like I say, it'll blow your mind. It's the clothes they wearing right today. And that if it's supposed to be so holy than thou in the way they dress it, why is he gonna strip them from that? You see what I'm saying? He said he gonna put on sackcloth. And he's the bunnies, the wraps, everything. When you look it up and then on Google show a picture, you're gonna say, wait a minute, that's how the sisters right now be dressing. Yep, he said he's gonna purge us. He said he's gonna purge the daughters of Zion, but that's okay, Father. Purge me. Inside out. Whatever you want to do, purge me. Guess why he's gonna purge us, y'all? Y'all never did know, did you? Who knows why he's gonna purge us? Come on, somebody. Why is he gonna purge the daughters of Zion? I'm gonna tell you, he is so beautiful. I just love my Yah. I just love my Yah. I just love my Yah. The dresses. Did you see that? How long they were? Hmm. Yes, he is. And when he's done purging us, he got something planned for us, women. And that's what we have to look forward to. See, we got a lot to look forward to. I heard another lady talk about and she was pretty much, she probably was a little older than I am, but she was talking about the father was telling her, she said she's a prophet. I don't know, that's what she said she is. No, she didn't say she was. Yeah, I think she did. She said that the father told her the ships are going to be coming in. Hmm. That's what she said. The ships are going to be coming in, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Hmm. Yep. Okay, listen to this here. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 4. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 4. Okay, listen to this. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Israel from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment. Hallelujah. And the spirit of burning. Why is that burning? You go up to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24. At the end, it says we're going to have burning instead of beauty. That's how he's going to purge us. And when he's finished purging us, verse 5 said, and Ahiah will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assembly a cloud of smoke by day and a shining of the flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense. Let me see where I can show you where he's let me see here which one, which verse is it saying? And the spirit of created in, yeah, that's it. And the flaming, that's what he's going to show us. And there shall be a tabernacle of a shadow of the daytime, and from the heat for the place of refuge, and for the covenant from the storm and from the rain. And this is where we are going to be called holy. That's the name in which the women said that is we want to be called. Verse 3. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, which is the daughters of Zion, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem, which is some of the men, shall be called holy. even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. We're gonna all be called holy. That's the name they was talking about. Them seven women was said. We don't care about nothing. Just let us be called by that name. Hallelujah! That is holy. That is so good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yep, that's what he said. Yep, they are. He's saying both of us. Those that are left, listen to this. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that is remained in Jerusalem shall be called holy. Even everyone, see, even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. We all gonna be called holy. And you know that's a beautiful thing. The ones that's going to the promised land, he's gonna call them holy. That's neat. Praise the most high or higher. So you think we flying in the air? You think we're gonna be flying in the air? One said we going in the ships. We're gonna have to talk about that tomorrow. We're gonna find out where. I mean, wait a minute now. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Do it. It doesn't matter as long as we all get there, huh? But yes, I see you say flying in the air, and this one said they coming by ship. No, it's three or four of them said ships. You remember them big old ships that they have? I ain't seen that. The military helicopters. Oh, I haven't seen that. But what state do you stay in? Right. That's what. Now you know what. You see how you talking about the Red Sea? How it's gonna be? That's what you got to take people minds there. That it's gonna be so awesome because it's going. You know, it's gonna have to out top the Red Sea. You know, it got to. It has to. Okay. All right. Virginia. Okay. So over in your area? Wow. You think it's some type of military? Oh yes, you're gonna out top the Red Sea. I think so. Yep. Something, but I don't know. That's cute. Oh, really? Because they try to. This country is so. And not, but you know what? I can't say nothing about the United States no more. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't say very much because it's so much light on. It is so much plainly see. You know, even when I see they come talking about China bringing it, baby, China own this land, the military and the big drones. Yeah, I don't know. Have anybody been sick lately? You saw that? Oh, you saw that, huh? Wow. Mm, 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 mm. I was just wondering about it. About that's deep. And they just so much stuff is now you can see in the sky, and they don't care about you seeing it. That's what he was saying. Everything is wide in the open. Everything they doing that's wrong, you can plainly see it. Oh, really? Headaches? Mess with your throat and your eyes. And okay. Because I have heard people say they had the headaches too, but I didn't know if that was just there, just here in this state. Oh, a lot of them are dropping dead too, especially those that's in the sports. I think because of their heart, they're overreacting in the sports and in activities that's active, even working out and sports and everything that they're in. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing they did. They told the people that they was giving them 2 years. No one wanted to hear it. No one listened to that. I remember them saying everything will start to be very clear and where this bee is going to land everybody. You'll know within 2 years. That's what they said. That's what they said. Yeah, a lot of them are dying, and they're young. A lot of Gentiles. Yep, everybody's saying all of them had shots, but you notice ain't nobody doing nothing. It's over, y'all. It's a lot of stuff going on. And no one seeing that ain't nobody doing nothing. You see how they telling these young people in kindergarten, first grade, third grade, they can either claim that they are male or female. Now it's not going to be based on the parents telling them if they're male or female. Do you see how they sending um cross dressers into the elementary school? And ain't nothing you can do. Yep. But it's not just that, y'all. It's just everything that's going on. Everything. And I'm gonna tell it like it is. I don't care. Our people, if we are just 13% of the population and we are taking each other, our people are taking each other out like they're taking, we're gonna be something like 4 or 5%. They standing back watching how we are taking each other out. Nobody saying anything. Not even the people on this devil platform talking about Yahuwah or Yah, or they ain't saying nothing. They so busy watching Beyonce. What is that? What's his name? Uh, Keon West or whatever his name is. They so busy watching the things that the world is doing, they can't even see what is going on with their own nation because they so busy looking at stuff that don't mean anything. And this is what I think is strange. They're covering stuff that's so, I call it, in the rectum. They so up in the rectum of Babylon, they can't even see their way out. They can't even see their way out. And you know what? Said something. I don't know if y'all ever saw that man, French, French, something. He said he's 64. He's a black guy, and he should. I told y'all. I think I told y'all once before. Everything is out of order. But he told me that one morning I woke up. I turned. I remember I was okay. I was turning from my right to the left toward the window. And he said lawlessness. And I said, I'm gonna get up. When I get up, I'm gonna dig deep. And I when I did my study on it, when I got up, got me some to eat, fed the dog, I said, you know what, Father, this is kind of scary. He said, it ain't meant for you to be scared, but it's letting you know where you are at, what the world is now serving. No one, because I was trying to explain to people, it's gonna come a time. No, I ain't gonna come. I need to stop saying that. Where, say for instance, if you had a car accident, you're just gonna die in that car accident, even though you're not even in critical condition. They're not coming for you, baby. That's what I'm trying to and warn people. These people are not coming. French y'all, Pearson. Oh, you know which one I'm talking about. He always talking about colors and numbers and signs of, and what he's saying is, and I can kind of understand what he's saying, but I don't get into that. I look at that as also witchcraft and sorcery, because it's showing you another way of getting what the prophecy has already prophesied. So when he's coming and he's saying that, but you know what, this is how deep, and I told y'all this before, at least ever since I've been on here, but I didn't know it was like that. This man is about in tears because he's trying to understand why this is what he did. This is what he did. Okay, last month, I think it was the beginning of January, he reached his 100,000. He was talking about how many views he had: 54 views this day, and 60 views this day, 40K views this day, 54K views this day. He was just as up and out about, oh, they loving me, they loving me. And as I sat back and I said, man, you just don't know. You so far left. I mean, you don't even know that you got a right hand. Just how far left you are. And I sat there and I said, this man has got some issues. Do you know they turned around and they start bothering with his K's, his views. And then they start doing something else on his page. Now, guess what they did? They shut him down. They shut his butt down. And you know what he has the audacity to get on there and do? Tell the people that was his, how would I see it? He was saying that was his, how do you say it when you say that's his way he was living? He built his life on this YouTube. I couldn't understand who would get up at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 10, and be making videos like that. Who in their right mind? That's how he got his numbers so quick. So I'm like looking at it, and he just is happy and just happy. Oh, I just thank everybody for supporting me. And oh, I just really, you can tell God is in this and all this and that. And I'm like looking at him, man, you just don't know. The quicker you come up, the quicker you gonna go down. And do you know he's saying that this was his living? I think I'm saying it right. Financial resource. Thank you. Thank you. That's what he said. This is his financial resource. I said, you're going to use the devil platform to be your financial resource. That's why the devil fired you. They closed his page down. Now he's up. They not only did they close it, it was something he was supposed to get. And they kept him from getting it. And I was like, yeah, it was his lifestyle too. Yeah. And he's sitting on there. He said he's 64, and he's sitting on there telling people, you don't know how I feel. Y'all, I got a lot of people telling me that was my fault because I used this as a mean of living and my financial resource. This is what I needed. And, why? You see, you saying you representing Yah. How are you representing Yah? Trusting in the devil platform to financially make you stable or make you. He was saying something about if you can get up to a certain amount of 20 and 30 and 40K likes, you can actually take care of three households. Something like that he was saying. And I'm like saying, see, all the wrong reasons. That means you'll get up here and tell something that's not true because this is your pay comp. This is your pay comp. This is the way you get paid. Now, y'all, that's a fact there. You can get on here and start saying things that's not even true because this is the only way, this is the way you make your money. And if a higher is not giving you the resource of what to say, he ain't giving you nothing at no 2 and 4 and 6 in the morning. That's what he be doing. Uploading videos. You chasing this doing devil platform. That cannot be. And now he's looking like a sad puppy because they what they did, I don't know how they did that. But he ended up opening up him another page, but he's still on that page, but they took all of his subscribers, I guess. I guess that's what they did. All for the love of money. And when it get like that, this is what happens. Then you begin to just tell people anything. That's what most of them are doing. Once that money start rolling in, oh, I got to tell them this. I tell them this. And that's why they come up out of spirit and truth, of anything spirit and truth, or any light, to tell you anything that the world is doing, darkness, this, to where people didn't be now just uploading it. I mean, now looking and looking at all their pages just to hear the dirt, but no spirit and truth, no food for your spirit, no light. And that's why, because they chasing that mighty dollar. They chasing that mighty dollar. And I look at him and I said, that's a sad thing. I said, I knew he was going to fall. Y'all, he was bragging because he reached 100K. Then when he reached past 100K to, I think it was 100K point 10, I was like, he was bragging. I'm like, oh, and smiling, y'all. I just appreciate y'all this and y'all this. You should see what the people saying to him now. And he's so hurt because they telling him that they didn't know he was chasing that dollar. They said they didn't know that. See, they didn't know that he was using that as a means of resource, of financial resource. And then he come talking, I got a son to raise. Get your tail up and get a job. What you mean you got a son to raise? So you use the platform teaching people sorcery and witchcraft because you got a son to raise. Who don't? See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. It made me look at the fact of what I said when I first saw him. Man, this stuff that you're telling people, numbers and colors, has no power of my Father glory. He gets nothing in that. You're chasing Satan with colors and numbers, and y'all over here saying, what the crap is he doing? Ain't saying nothing about the Father. So this is what he said. Now, I'm going to go strictly ministering, teaching the word of God. Baby, you don't know no word. This man believed that heathens and Gentiles is the best thing that ever hit the earth. Y'all didn't know that, did you? That's what I'm telling y'all. This is how his mindset is. This is his mindset. You better not call him no Israelite. I mean, he ain't into none of that. He's into Christian. It's the best thing in the world. Jesus Christ is the best thing that ever happened. I mean, that's his mindset. So they took him down. And they took him all the way down because he's looking like a sad puppy now. Never gave no word. And now he's saying he's going to on his new page. But he makes sure he put his Cash App in some other page he got on some other. He said so you can support him because that was his financial, financial resource for living. I got a son to raise. Get your tail up. Talking about you got a degree. You used to be a reporter or journalist. You better get your tail up and do what you got to do. Because if you sitting here waiting for YouTube, that's what. And it's kind of good, y'all. Want me to tell y'all why? Because the Father is saying, I'm shutting everything down. See, because that's what's happening. These men are going around here, being on this devil platform, and they getting high on the hog. And they just, everybody, and women too, everybody is just off to themselves, building their own financial stability thinking that, that this is what it's about. This is what, and ain't none of them saying nothing regarding spirit and truth and no light. Even if you are saying about the light and spirit and truth, it ain't for you to make you or no financial, what is it, financial resource, financial lifestyle on this doing devil platform. And the moment you say something that they don't like, they cut you off. What you gonna build that? That's just like you getting fired. And he was. Because he looked like a sad puppy. And he is so hurt. But this is the thing. His subscribers are eating him alive. They are eating him alive, telling him, well, you shouldn't have made this your financial resource. They eating, and he's mad at them for saying that. You don't know my life. You don't know what I went through. I have to I have the son to raise that has disabilities. I started saying, wait, bro, who you think they don't have that in their family? I mean, see, people bent. Sister Deborah lived every day by day. That's just me. I don't look to just try to build up anything. Because it's nothing to sit and build up as if I'm going to be here. Not to say that I'm going to be here or what did they say? What people say? Save for a rainy day. You rain your day on out of here. You rain your day on out of here. If God give you the next day to breathe, you better be thankful. Talking about rainy day. And first of all, those who are in the light and in righteousness, normally when they save anything, the devil gonna come right along to make sure something take it. So that shows you. Get somewhere and sit down with that. Didn't he say that? Doing the curse? He said that, but you can't get these men. You can't get. Whew, that's why I would be very cautious, even for the men to be wanting to follow them. All the wrong reason. But you should see him. Go on there and see him. You should see him looking like a sad puppy. Because the people, his subscribers, are eating him up. Because see, they said they didn't know that that's what he was doing. They didn't know. Them people didn't know that. They had no idea that that's what he was doing. But they, I guess they took all his subscribers. Is that what? Because he's hurt. So I guess that's what they. What is it called when they take all their subscribers from him? Deactive. De. Dramatized. Whatever it was. Whatever it did, it hurt him. And he's on there like a sad puppy trying to figure out how he gonna. And then he telling people when he wants you to support him because this was his lifestyle and they did they. No. You've been on this devil platform. You sitting here telling these people colors and numbers. Add your numbers up now. Add your numbers up now and see where you end up. Yep, what was in the dark shall come to the light. That's true. That is so true. Yep, that's true. And I'm like saying, and that's where we are at. And it's just like it's this one television, one guy. He called himself Smart TV. The spirit told me he's on there just to work for Satan to be a division among the people. And I was like, Father, this guy come up with Greek. And he think he can debate people because he learned Greek. Thinking he can turn the words around from English to Greek and it's going to change the whole outside. I think that's what the problem is at. Even when Hebrew, I think they forgot who was the true teacher. I ain't going to say that. I think they messed up from the floor up. See, that's why you know the power of the Ruach is so powerful because he comes in and you don't even know where he at. They don't know if they going or coming. He done already said that he was going to come and put your trust in no man. I'm going to be your teacher and I will teach you all things. But what do? No, you ain't going to teach us all things. We got to go over here to Maureen, pastor, watchman, seer, apostle, prophet, prophetess. No, 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 no. You forget. And I was telling this to the Father today. I said, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you came in the spirit. Oh, I'm so glad because it erased everybody who think they can capture you and control you and manipulate you and deceive you, because the Holy Spirit comes to warn you against all that. And in the process of warning you, he's sitting here teaching you, showing you all things, revealing things to you, showing you things to come, meaning prophesy. And here we are, and comfort. Oh, he's a comfort. But he said he would be the teacher, not of some things, y'all. He said all things. That means if somebody tell us something wrong, he said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They lying to you and they telling you that I'm the true teacher. I come and teach it to you right. That's what he is. That's what he's all that's really what he's saying. I give it to you right. I come to teach it. I teach it to you right. Matter of fact, I told you I teach you all things. You see, he already promised that. But what do we do? No, I need somebody I can see and believe. Somebody I can hear in my flesh and believe. Oh, no. He can come that route too, but he when he said put your trust in no man, that's what he meant. Because once you start trusting in him and putting your trust in him, he'll let you hear everybody else. But guess why he'll let you hear everybody? Because now he is greater in you than he that's on the outside of you. So when that one that's on the Sister Deborah come talking yang, 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 he that's in you, that's greater than Deborah that's on the outside of you. Now he teaching you. Now you can see what Sister Deborah said, if it's true or if it's not. Why? Because greater is he that is in thee than he that's in the world. And if Deborah ain't in the world and I'm in him like you are, then we should be able to understand some things. Matter of fact, a lot of things. But it doesn't make us separate because we might not have it all. One might not have this and one might. It don't matter. We allowed his greatness to be known in us. To be known in us. But I believe it's a time where people are going to be coming running to hear what we have to say. I really do. I heard someone say that too. And I said to myself, I already believe that. And you're going to have to be able to stand there and give it to them in spirit and truth, and look them dead in the eyes and just give it to them. And they don't care. They're going to be looking for it. They're going to want you to tell them. When you read yourself, you start understanding him. That's what I'm talking about. But that was his purpose, his whole thing. We ought to come to him. That's right. Seek him. And what did that do for him? That makes him feel good that you trusting in him. That you trust that he can be the teacher he said he would be. He said he would be. Even Yeshua said he would be. So why is it we're not feeling that he is what he said he is? Why do we feel we have to go to all these here people who ain't got sense enough to even... It is what it is. And I know Sister Deborah didn't had y'all on here too long. It's almost 3 hours. But you know what? I'm going to tell y'all, no matter what you do in life, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you think, no matter what you feel, it don't matter what you understand. It don't matter about your personal opinion. Learn to hear his voice. Learn to hear his voice. But you have to keep quiet. You can't even think when you're trying to hear him. Because that flesh going to try to keep you from just hearing him. No matter what goes on in this world, always know that He's all that and some, beyond anything and anybody. Because if y'all really want me to tell you the truth, when you really come to the knowledge, you will see how wrong we have wronged Him. You will understand, well, wait a minute. You created everything, everything my eyes can see, everything my ears can hear. You were the creator of it. And we don't give you the glory for all that you have been. He had to shut me down one time for that. 'Cause I was saying you let that girl you let them turn that girl out. That girl's crazy now. And I don't understand why you did it. And I went in the house and I threw myself on the hallway floor. Oh yeah, Sister Deborah was acting a fool. Why did you do that? I don't understand. He said, wait a minute, hold up, Deborah. Just imagine I created the whole world. And the whole world, Deborah, denied me. And I am the creator. So you think I don't cry? You think I don't feel that? I said, yeah, yeah, but she was one of your righteous one. That's why I was telling him. And he said that he understood what I was feeling, but I need to understand who he is and how he feels. Because this young lady, I remember her in high school, and throughout the high school, she was always walking around, call herself ministering to everybody from freshman year all the way to her senior year. She always wore her little dresses and her little, just a smile and just sweet as she can be. When she went to a church, uh, this lady pastor church, and she joined it. No, her pastor passed away, and she joined this other church that she thought that was a good church, and it was a woman that was a pastor, and she turned her out. Mean, female and female. One day I was dropping my son to school, and she was in the middle of the streets. I'm talking about like 7 in the morning, and she was like a you should the things she was doing, y'all, in the middle of the streets and all the traffic. You know how the buses and everything. Boy, I pulled up and I said, "Got out the car, get in the car, get in the car." He gets in the car, and I asked her, I said, "What's going on?" She said, "I'm so sorry. You should have heard the repentance on that lady's voice." She, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I said, "You need to tell that to the Father. Why are you out there like that?" "I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sorry. Thank you so much for picking me up, bringing me home." I felt so sad for her. She gone. She was gone. Mhm. One woman that was over a church turned her out. And she went, now I don't know where she at today, but she was gone. And they said everybody talked about it. They did. They picked her up. The mental hospital picked her up that evening from home. That's what they told me. And it's so amazing how she was the one everybody in the neighborhood, everybody looked at as a woman of God, pleasant, sweet. And when that lady in that church, that pastor, turned her out, that was just it. Woo, I don't know, boy. And that's when I went home and I fell on the floor, saying, "Why did you do that? Why did you let that happen to her?" I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't, and I just blamed God for that. I knew who this child was. She was grew up with her in the community. It just didn't make no sense to me. then he began to tell me, and I know he probably cleaned her up real good. But when he finished talking to me, you should see me on that floor wiping my eyes and repenting, because the way he was telling me, it was like, what about me? Do you think that I cry? Just think, do you think that I have feelings? You're speaking of one person. He said, I created the whole world, and the whole world did not me. I mean, just what he was saying. And I just was on that floor repenting, telling him I was sorry. And I just was repenting. And when I got off that floor, I was like, I'm so sorry, Father, because I was just so hurt to see that young girl like that. But when he finished talking to me on that floor, he asked me, well, what's wrong with you? What's your problem? I said, but she, was a good person. She's a good woman, and you just let that devil take over her, and oh, but he straightened me up, y'all. He got me right. Got me right. Yep. And he was just telling me, and I remember that day, boy. And let me tell you how many years that was. That had to been 35 years ago. hmm Something like 35 years ago. I remember that. That was in my first apartment. hmm Sure did. And I'm sure she's probably back to serving him. I know she is, because I don't think it was something that, I don't know. I just don't know. Let me just shut up. But it was crazy. Real crazy. Yeah. So all right, Sister Deborah. I know we shouldn't, but we do. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably why he deal with me in the midnight hour, tossing and turning and waking me up for all the repent, just to keep, saying I'm sorry. And then I begin to say, sometimes I say, I'm nothing without you. You this and you that, just giving him, oh, you excellent, you wonderful. It's just words just start floating. But guess what, y'all? I end up right back to sleep. I end up right back like a little baby. Oh, just give me enough time, a few minutes to be praising him, and I'm back to sleep. But I can remember it. I can remember it well. Yes, I can remember it. Like last night, I think it happened 4 times. And the last hour, it was at 7 in the morning, because I knew it started like 2, and I think it like almost 4, and it was like 6, and I think it was 7, because it was 4 times. And you know what I said, y'all, when I got up? What was that all about? I said, what was that all about? Credit, give him this credit, this due him. Woo, but I don't know if we ever get to that point. It's been so long, y'all. It's so many years. But we just thank him for just letting us be able to recognize that he's entitled to it. And see, I think that's where he appreciated, is that we just recognize that he's entitled to more than what we have been how would I say it? Uh turning, not so much as turning. What word should I say? We should I think that now I ain't gonna think. I know that he appreciate the fact that we recognize it, and we're not trying to hide behind the fact that, well, well, maybe we do it next week or next month, or praise him, or, you know what I'm saying? We are recognizing that he's entitled to the praise and the honor and the glory, and he's entitled to all that and some. It's just that you look at it, and you can see all around the world they ain't about to give him nothing. So it ain't for them to give him anything. It's for us that knows that he's entitled to. It's due him because of who he is. He's all that and some. And just because people don't want to praise him and honor him and glorify him and talk to him, and don't talk to him like he's a distance, or he's somewhere up in the high level and in the woods somewhere. No, mm-mm. He here, y'all. He here, ever, always. He ain't distance, and that's how you talk to him. You deal with him at a level of his presence, not as if he's distance. Now he all the way over here and all the way over there. No, that he's presence. He is present. Oh, there go my. Oh, I can't believe my thing went out. Okay. Okay. My computer is shutting down. I thought my oh, that came a loose during the time I was on here. Okay, Sister Deborah, gonna have to go. My computer's out. It's finna die out. So Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you all. And I say I will be back. We should come up with some more topics. And I will, because I want to show some other things that has never been spoken. But we can just, you know what? That'd be a good idea too. We can just talk about a lot of stuff. So Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you all. And I say unto you, shalom and shalom.